Power Rangers Issue 2, the second issue in this lore-heavy Phantom Ranger Origins Legendary Squadron Rangers appearing Power Rangers comic. Now, last month I reviewed the issue and I had some nitpicks with it. And once again, I do have nitpicks with this issue, but they're not that serious. It's minor things, and I'll get to it when I get to it. But this issue was a lot of fun to read because we get to learn more about the Master Arch and what the heck is going on with this whole situation and what Dark Spector is trying to achieve. And I'm finally glad we got that. Not only that, the Phantom Ranger or the Morphinaut did not take off his helmet, and it was not a random character I thought we'd be meeting. This time, he keeps the helmet on, and he actually gets to speak this time, so we actually get to learn some very interesting information through this character. And one of those things is that Dark Spector is incompatible with grid energy, so when his soldiers were trying to enter the Arch, things weren't looking good for him, and they started to explode, and there was a chain reaction where it didn't turn out well for him. So it's kind of like mass passing through a portal. I think the best way to describe it is that one Futurama special, Beast with a Billion Backs, if you've seen it. I don't know if I'm reaching too far for a reference, but that's what I'm thinking of when the Morphinaut was talking about it. So Dark Spector doesn't want to enter the grid, he wants to destroy it. So that way, there'll be a chain reaction across the Morphin Grid and probably do some serious damage around the universe with the Morphin Grid entirely. So once again, Dark Spector is a villain that wants to destroy the Morphin Grid, which is something we've seen before in Power Rangers, whether they want to control it, destroy it, or do something with it. Now, there's one thing I want to give praise to, and that is the writing of the Morphinaut, because the Morphinaut is written pretty well in this comic, because the dude is very honorable and a protective fighter, because he gives our heroes with attitude, our teenagers with attitude, a chance to run and escape and be with their families, but they choose to stay behind with him. And even though this guy is wounded and flowing with Morphin Grid energy, the dude is still willing to fight. And I like that in that guy, because even though he's wounded and wanting to fight, he's willing to protect the others and willing to throw down his life to make sure they get out safely. So this guy's a friggin' beast who he's still ready to throw down, even when injured. Also, it's important to note that even though that the Morphinaut was willing to stay behind and fight off the remaining forces, giving our heroes a chance to leave, they didn't want to leave him behind, which shows that they've got good qualities of being Rangers. But what's also really interesting is all of them chose to stay behind, and I know that's a trope where they're saying, we're not going to leave you behind and stuff like that. All of them wanted to stay behind and help him. No one else had second thoughts and thought, maybe if you say so, or maybe if you think so, then we'll do it. But everyone pretty much agreed and decided to stay behind and help this guy out. So it shows that these characters, from what we've seen so far, although they have a lot of banter and sometimes they butt heads with one another, it shows that they have those hero qualities in them. Now, in this issue, we finally get to meet Zev, I don't know how to pronounce his name. You can correct me in the comment section if you want to, that would be a lot of help. But we finally get to meet this character where, at the start of the issue, you see this ominous and scary-looking Magna-looking man, or Dark Spector, rock-looking putty monster chasing the team or following him. And then when he finally confronts the team, you see the Morphinaut able to diffuse the evil Dark Spector energy off him, and it's revealed that it was the Black Squadron Ranger, which was a cool reveal to see there was someone under that all along and see what Dark Spector's effect can do to people. That was really cool to see. But there's not much to say about this character as of the time of doing this review, because once he's rescued, he kind of takes a back seat in this issue where he explains to the others saying being controlled by Dark Spector was scary and he didn't really like it. So he's kind of explaining to the others the force or the power that Dark Spector has, and he's very afraid of it. So they don't even explain how he was controlled by Dark Spector or what happened, and I'm hoping we get to see that eventually, but I'm guessing with all the chaos that happened, something was able to take control of him. Now, one of the highlights of this issue was seeing our 6 heroes use the power of the Morphin Grid and morph into Rangers. But I do like the reveal that we got as you see them morph, because I was thinking, okay, this is the issue, we're finally going to see them turn into the Die Rangers or the Legendary Squadron Rangers. This is it. I'm going to turn the page, and when you turn the page, it's not what you think, and it's in a good way, because you see our heroes morphed into different Rangers throughout the franchise. You see Red as Mighty Morphin Red, you see Green as Samurai, you see Green Samurai, Ninja Storm Samurai, you see Black as Wild Force Black, Yellow, which is a really cool design because it's a male Yellow Ranger from Dino Thunder, and because the guy is a lot more beefier and a lot more bulkier, it's more of a buffed out suit with a really cool design, and I do like that difference it's got with that suit. You've got Time Force Pink and Zeo Blue. So you have all these different Rangers across some different eras, and I really like that reveal where it took me by surprise and it wasn't the Die Ranger suit. So that means if we're going to see the Die Ranger suits eventually, they're definitely building towards it, and if they're building towards it, then I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them building towards this Die Ranger power-up we'll be seeing later down the line. But that makes sense if you think about it, them using the Morphin Grid, accessing different Ranger suits throughout the show, or throughout the Morphin Grid, which is kind of a cool thing to see. So the ending note this issue ends on is a giant airship hovering over the planet, and our heroes are wondering if that's Dark Spector. And the Morphinaut replies with, "No, he cannot take a physical form yet. Whoever will be here on his behalf, and they will be a force to be reckoned with." Which is true, because if you've read stuff like Draken New Dawn, we had people coming on Dark Spector's behalf, and they were a force to be reckoned with. The female Ecliptor, she kicked ass when she came to Earth. And then you had the brainwashed Andros at the end, where that character was turned evil. Spoilers for that comic that came out a few years ago. But the character design of who we see coming on Dark Spector's behalf looks fucking cool. I love this character's design. It looks like the Archfiend, cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where he's got this bone-like armor, and one side is like this giant wing going over him, and then he's got this black body with these orange stripes going across him, which is probably like lava flowing, and he's just got this really cool design that I really like, this really menacing design. But it's up to our heroes to destroy the Arch so it doesn't fall into the hands of evil. And that's where the issue ends. So overall, I thought it was a pretty fun issue to read. Lots of lore, lots of explaining, and some interesting character moments we got in this issue. And I'm very curious to see where it's going to go next, because we're exploring an interesting part in the Power Rangers lore/universe, and I am curious how this comic is going to continue and how it's going to end. What are we going to learn moving forward? So there's a lot that's got my curiosity piqued right now, and I'm excited to keep reading to see what's going to happen next. So what's my nitpick I had with this issue? Well, you're going to laugh at me because this is a comic and comics do have dialogue, but I feel like there's too much talking in this issue. And I understand this is a lore-heavy comic, where learning about new things, and we're learning about new reveals, about new characters, but I feel like we get too much of an info dump on some pages, and there's a lot of talking and back and forth with characters, which makes sense. This is a comic, you're meant to have dialogue, but I feel like the characters are always talking, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but with all the lore dump we get in this issue, it does worry me that it might turn off new readers who randomly pick this up and they learn about all of this Morphin Grid stuff, and it's going to leave them scratching their heads, confused and stuff like that. But even for a fan that covers this stuff on the channel all the time, even getting that big info dump we get, like, I have to go back and read it like 2 or 3 times to make sure I didn't miss anything or I'm not interpreting it the wrong way. So it does, the big info dumps aren't terrible. They aren't bad, but it is a little bit off-putting as characters are always talking here and there. Like, maybe there should be like a couple of pages or panels where characters have some breathing room and just react to what's going on, and maybe talk on the next panel or the next page here and there, but that's my opinion. Anyway guys, that's my review slash recap slash discussion, whatever you want to call it, of Power Rangers Universe Issue 2. What did you guys think of the issue? Tell me in the comment section down below. I love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Also, big special shout out to everyone who watched my issue 1 review. That did gangbusters, and I'm glad that a lot of people tuned in to listen to that review. So hopefully this review does just as well, or even better. But like I said, tell me what you guys thought of this issue in the comment section down below, and do you have any predictions on where this comic might go next? So, with that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Special thanks to all the members such as Swagger4 and Andrew McCoyle, and big special shout out to the Power Bunny, who is a $30 member. If you want to get your name shouted out like these guys over here, join the Patreon or become a YouTube member for special perks on the channel. So, with that said, I'm bringing this video to a close. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye!
Thank you.